Next topic which we have is principle of flotation, law of flotation. So law of flotation, it is just similar to the three conditions which we have studied, right? The three conditions: if the weight is more than the buoyant force, if weight is less than the buoyant force, or if weight is equal to the buoyant force. So these three conditions, they are collectively called as law of flotation. So what does the law of flotation states? So the statement for the law of flotation is, please understand this, this is much complicated sentence, so you should understand it very well. When body floats, weight of the water displaced by immersed part of it is less, immersed part of it is more than the weight of the body. Or in other words, you can say that when body sink, right, weight of the water displaced by immersed part of the body is less than the weight of the body. That is what the law of flotation is. This one, if you try to understand, it is just similar to that of the three conditions which we have seen. Let us try to understand this complete sentence, this all the words. Now what does it mean? So once again, I'll draw the diagram, right? Let us say this is a bucket or a small tank available. There is a water inside, right? Then I take a box. Box may be made up of wood, may be made up of gold, may be made up of iron, may be made up of plastic, right? So when I take a box, my observation will be either something like this, right? Some part of the box is inside, some part is outside. If you take wood, you can observe this thing. Some part of the wood is inside, some part of the wood is outside. If you take human beings, right? Human beings are on the surface, they are just along the surface. So this is another observation, that the body just remains along the surface, neither outside, neither inside. And the third condition is the box will settle down at the base. So first, second and third. So based on these three observations in our everyday life, right, what can we conclude? So now see the sentences, we'll decode these sentences. Weight of the water displaced. What do we mean by weight of the water displaced? By immersed part of it, right? Weight of the water displaced by immersed part of it. This sentence, here also we have the same sentence. Weight of the water displaced by immersed part of the body. So what do we mean by these words? This means immersed part of the body. So this is the immersed part of the body. This much part is only immersed inside, submerged inside, right? If you don't understand the word immersed, you can use the word submerged. Submerged means the part which is inside the water. Submerged. So weight of the water displaced by submerged part. So this much amount of water, this part of the water, we don't take water equal to the volume of the body. We take only water which is equal to the volume of the body, which is inside the water, right? Inside the water. Now this water which is submerged, weight of water equal to the volume of body inside the water, right? So weight of the water, how much water? The water which is displaced by, or water equivalent to the volume that is inside equivalent to the volume of the body which is inside the water. So if this is more than the weight of the body, then what happens? The first condition arises. This sentence have been decoded this way. Weight of the water displaced by immersed part of it. So immersed part of it. So this immersed part, how much water is equivalent to it? If that weight is more than the weight of the complete body, then the body will float. Right? I'll explain you this in the terms of the human behavior. Let's say simple. You have a one room, right? Your own room. Then next room is your sister's room. What happens if the guest comes and if he is sharing your room? Will your sister come and fight for you that don't occupy his room, don't use his things? Never. Sister, she will remain as it is in her room, as if nothing is happening. You yourself will keep on fighting, or you yourself will keep on grumbling that someone is using my things. Now understand the reverse case. Let's say the same room is shared by you and your sister, and if someone third person is coming and trying to occupy that room, is trying to use the things, is trying to use your cutlery items, is trying to use your towel, is trying to use your toothpaste, what happens? Both of you will repel. Same thing happens here. The water which has been displaced, this body, what it has done, it has taken the position of water. It has displaced the water from its position and has taken that position. So only this much amount of water will create a buoyant force, not the whole of the ocean. Only the part of the water which has been displaced by the object will create a buoyant force, and that is what this sentences means. Weight of the water. How much weight of the water? Equal to the volume of the body inside the water. Equal to the volume of the body inside the water. Let us decode this second sentence. Right? This condition is less than, right, greater than, or if you write greater than or equal to, then this is the first and second condition both. Right? Then the third condition. Weight of the water displaced by the immersed part of the body. Weight of the water. How much weight of the water? How much weight of the water? Equal to the volume of the body inside the water. If this weight of the water is less than weight of the body, then definitely the body will sink inside. Now just to understand these words, I will take another example. Right? Same type of the example. These are very important. This law of flotation and sinking, reasoning based questions, that why thermocol is floating, why wood is floating, why iron piece it sink down but iron ship it will float. So all those reasoning based questions, they are based on these things. So these things I am again explaining you with the help of the another example. Right? Again, let us say this is a bucket and you have a water here. Right? Just plastic bottle, simple plastic bottle. You can take Pepsi Cola or Thumbs Up bottle. So that bottle when you take, so let us say this is the bottle. Let us say this is the bottle of the Pepsi Cola or Thumbs Up. Right? And in this bottle liquid is filled till this level. Liquid is filled till this level. Same bottle if you take again, same bottle if you take again, and let us say the liquid is filled till here. See, now just with the help of the plastic bottle you can understand all the three examples. If the bottle is filled till half, what happens? Half part of the body which is not filled remains outside, and the part of the body or part of the bottle which is filled with the water remains inside. Simple. right? So same thing here, how will you understand in this term? So now in this first case here, right, again you can say the same things, that the weight of the water, right, displaced by immersed or submerged part of bottle, this weight is greater than weight of the bottle itself. Well, we know that weight of the bottle is very small, it's hardly in 16-17 grams. So obviously the water which is displaced by this submerged part is more than the weight of the bottle. So in this condition what happens? Bottle floats, just equivalent to the condition number 1. And similarly in this second case, right, in this case number 3, what happens? Weight of the water, now the water is filled till the top level. So again here weight of water displaced by submerged part of bottle, is greater than equal to, here the condition arises just like equal to condition. The weight of the water displaced and the weight of the bottle, they are equal. So in this condition body will just float, just similar to the condition number 2. Body is just floating with small part outside or no part outside. This thing again you can experience. How? Let us say this same thing happens in air also. It happens in air also. But I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a large pool of the water. In that large pool of the water, you put your this much part of the hand inside. Do you feel buoyant force? Maybe, may not be. But let us say you put this much part of the water inside. Now definitely you will be feeling that some force is acting on the hands in the upward direction. Now if you put your complete hand inside the water, definitely if you leave your hand free, the hand will come to the surface. Now here again the same principle is arising. When you put your this much part of the hand inside, the water which is displaced by the part of your hand, is not sufficient enough to give an upward force which will keep this part floating, or that force you may not feel. But when the complete hand is inside, the water that is displaced by the complete hand, it is sufficient enough, right? The weight of the water displaced is more than the weight of your hand. Why? Because even though your hand is made up of water, there is some part of oxygen inside the blood, right? So your hand comes to the floating condition. So that is what the law of flotation means. If you have not understood, you should rewind the video and listen to it once again. This is very important. The next part, there are so many reasoning based questions on the basis of law of flotation.